Hey guys, Kelly Walker Slaughter, part of Ward First 931. Told you I'd be somewhere else new. We are at Families in Crisis here right above Citizens Tri County Bank, and we are in what they call the safe space, safe place area.
Safe
Does
Space Clinic.
Safe. Okay, you got it. I have Jessica here from NHC with me. Tell me about this room because this was a long time coming.
It was. We've been working on this. We've been thinking about this for about 10 years now and working together with Families in Crisis. We've finally gotten the funding. I think we noticed the need for it at least 10 years ago, and we've been talking about it ever since then. So it's finally coming to fruition. We're so excited to have it.
Exactly.
So nice.
It looks amazing. Did you help put this together?
I can't take the credit for that. It was Courtney and Christy that put all this together.
It looks phenomenal. I absolutely love it. So what is your part in this program?
Well, I'm a nurse, but more specifically, I'm a sexual assault nurse examiner. And so I'm going to be the director for that part of the program. So if somebody does get sexually assaulted, they will come in here and get a forensic exam. And so I'll be the one doing the forensic exams. So I'm one of the nurses that are doing the forensic exams.
Okay. And you're just probably one part that makes this all
That's
come
right.
to fruition,
There's a whole bunch of us that work together. So we have advocates, which Courtney and Christy are advocates for us. So anytime you come in, you get that with a sexual assault nurse that does the forensic exam. And then we also have a space over on the other side here that is for if the police are involved, and they can do their questioning in that room. And it's very confidential here.
Instead of being in like the hospital or the police station,
right,
it's more comfortable here.
Yes, and quiet. And you can probably just come in the side door here, and people don't know if you're in the bank or
right.
What. So.
Right. I love that. And I know you got to get back, so thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to say before we let you go?
No, just that we are looking for other nurses to help us. So if you're a nurse out there watching this and you're interested, just give us a call. You can reach me. Christy, the number to the office number is
931-473-6543, or they can call the crisis line number too at
931-473-6221. I know that one. I was going to say, I knew the one. So
Thanks,
we're going to
Kelly.
switch out, and we're going to bring in Courtney and Christy, Courtney Breedlove and Christy Stubblefield with Families in Crisis. I'm no stranger. This is my cousin from another mother. And this is Courtney Breedlove. We all, at one point, worked with each other when this all got started. And we all had different positions.
We did.
And so, I mean, again, seeing where it used to be and now where y'all are at now. How phenomenal is it?
You talk about how old we look now and how young we used to be, or...
No, I'm talking about the facility, of course.
So we've come a long ways. Families in Crisis has always served victims of sexual assault through our different programs and even through our shelter. Yeah. But in 2016, I think we secured some government funding to become a sexual assault center. We had to take a couple of years for some community buy-in, right? Because for a long time, there wasn't very many conversations around sexual assault in Warren County. And so we started partnering with the Sheriff's Department, the City Police Department, the DA's office. At that time, Jessica was a nurse at Ascension at River Park and knew that there was a need. And from that moment on, we created our SART team, which is our sexual assault response team here in Warren County, and started meeting monthly. And so since 2016, we have been meeting monthly as a little team, just discussing sexual assault in our county, the barriers that a victim has to go through, the
training that needs to happen.
The training that needs to happen in all departments across all levels. And just the conversations that need to be had, starting at very young ages about sexual assault.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and then victim blaming. In small rural communities, we always want to blame victims of sexual assault. What were you wearing? What were you drinking? why were you there so late? Why were you there alone?
How you acted?
Why did you portray yourself that way? Why did you act like you wanted it and then say that you didn't?
That's
right.
right. Yeah, you hear that all the time. We have a
right to say stop. And so after those conversations were had for many, many years, we hit COVID.
Yeah.
And then so everything just kind of stopped, right? After the world stopped. We recovered from that about 2 years ago, and everybody was still at the table. Some funding, state level funding opened up, and Breed Love and I went on a mission. No one could, a lot of other surrounding counties were having a hard time kind of pulling stuff together, finding hospital equipment and things like that. And we do what we do best. We're nose to the road and pulled it all together. We didn't have a space, and I said, but we do. And we cut our office space here in half. We did every bit of this ourselves. There is no contract labor. There is no construction person. This is all.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
This is all us. And so here we are.
I love it.
And we feel like it's going to be great.
Yeah, I agree.
We've had tons of community people that have come in here and just their mouths have hit the floor.
Is there anybody you want to give like shout outs to that has shown tremendous effort in this?
We really need to thank our sheriff's department and our city police department for honestly being so supportive, helping as much as they have. The district attorney's office has stayed involved as well the whole time. I mean, we can't speak highly enough of the support that we've got. This space wouldn't be feasible without knowing that they're going to utilize the space. So.
And Jessica that was just here. God bless Jessica. She has been on this journey with us way before we even thought about securing funding. Without her expertise and just her passion to want to help sexual assault victims before we were even a program that did that, she's stuck with us. It's hard. It's hard. We've had funding, we've lost funding. We've went through, changes in sheriff's departments, changes in district attorney's office, law enforcement and nurses during COVID. I mean, completely changed everywhere. And so small rural communities really take a hit like that. We're finally back at a place where they're waiting to utilize it. They can't wait to have a private space too, to be able to talk to victims where victims feel more relaxed and know that they're in a safe space. So.
Well, when I came in here with all the stuff I was going through, I was like, can I take a nap? Because, I mean, it does feel very serene. It does feel, I mean, it still gives the medical vibe, but it's not scary. It reminds me like when I go to see Dr. Riley and how they have it all tranquil and stuff in there with the plants. And I love how y'all have made everything. And this is, when sexual assault it's not just women.
Right.
This could be men, children, anyone.
Yes.
Any age. I want to make it like clear, this is not just for women. This is for all ages, all sexes.
It is for men. We will only do exams, though, over the age of 18 right now. So there is some state legislation that we're going to be advocating for to change. But for right now, we're going to do 18 and over. There is our kids. That covers Tennessee to do sexual assault exams for minors and teens. So right now we're just going to do it over the age of 18. If we can get some nurses specifically trained for pediatric exams, then we'll look at.
There are different requirements for minors than there are adult survivors. So that's something that we're going to focus on 18 and over at this time. Yes.
But it is for men as well. We had even talked to Brian. I had talked to Brian before about, becoming trained as a man. There's obviously different stigma around sexual assault if you're a man, and sometimes it may be more embarrassing to report. So we are looking at, maybe having some men on board to do those exams if that's what they would prefer.
Yeah, I get that. And, not just sexual assault, guys. Y'all deal with other types of domestic violence. You want to go through the gambit, as I call it?
We deal with domestic violence, sexual assaults, human trafficking, stalking. We do tend to get involved sometimes with elder abuse cases
Right.
in conjunction with orders of protections. So we do a little bit of kind of across the board on those things.
And if there's something that y'all can't do, there's other resources, like, you know,
Mhm.
and I do know that sometimes, you know, you get calls for other things like homeless, things like that. But there's resources out
Mhm.
there that you guys can either help them or send them next to one of the other
Right.
local nonprofits here in town.
One thing that I always say, I had a meeting this morning, and I always stress that our crisis line is always answered by one of our employees or one of our advocates. It's never to date at this time been rolled to a answering service where you're going to get somebody in Nashville or Murfreesboro or wherever that answers it. It's always going to be one of Families in Crisis employees. And so at that time, if they're not able to be a resource for you, they're going to know the resources in your area to refer you to.
And then we're gonna also play back a video. Jason Walker, do you want to talk a little briefly about him?
So again, we this would not be possible without the support of our SART team, which is our sexual assault response team. That's composed of the Sheriff's Department, McMinnville City Police Department, District Attorney's Office, 911, Families in Crisis. I know I'm probably missing somebody, and I apologize, but those are the main
same nurses.
and the same nurses. Those are that we come together, you know, monthly. And so Jason is another one, along with Jessica, that has really sat in for the Sheriff's Department and been an advocate. He actually went to a national training with Courtney on forming the SART team, and so has been instrumental on the law enforcement side on advocating and why we need this. And so him, Jessica, and Courtney sat down and just kind of wanted to do a little spot and show the community that we are working together. We want this to be a seamless process for anybody that wants to come forward. That being said, Courtney and I want to tell everybody that you don't have to report to law enforcement to come to this clinic.
Okay.
You can come to this clinic and have a sexual assault exam and not have law enforcement called, and not have to report the sexual assault. And so what will happen is you will have the kit done, and it will be a hold kit in case you decide you want to report
When you're
later.
comfortable to do it.
Yes.
Okay. That's like that. I mean, and that, a lot of women, men, and children go through this where it's later on, or maybe they some people I've heard in cases they save their stuff and then they just hold on until when they're ready. So if you know somebody out there, guys, that it's in that situation that may just need to talk to somebody, this is what these ladies are here for. This is what you call 473 6221. Somebody can answer that call. Again, I remember when we were working there. I mean, how many? There's so many people you guys help, not just in the Warren County community.
Right.
Let's stress that out. This is in Grundy and Sequatchie.
We typically cover Warren, Grundy, and Sequatchie. However, the shortage of SANE nurses in Tennessee is astronomical. There are, I know of 3 that are covering Cookeville, Smithville, Warren County, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
It's a lot.
All of Middle Tennessee. Plus
they need to be applauded.
3.
There's
3 that we know of, and they are responding to every sexual assault that they can.
Wow.
In those areas. And so
they're in a low supply of these nurses. We need
nurses,
more.
the nurses are definitely needed. And so we know with this center that we're going to cover more than just Warren, Grundy, and Sequatchie, because there's nowhere else to go and get this, right?
So you're seeing, you're in the next, whether it's next few months or years, you're seeing more people from other communities or counties coming in here.
We're already seeing them come from other counties here, not to this center, but to our hospital to get examined by those nurses, or those nurses are having to travel out of county to provide those.
Oh, okay. Crazy. Is there anything else you want to showcase, talk about before I let you guys go? Because I apologize, voice is not at my best.
No, this is, we just really wanted people to see the space, right?
Yeah.
And to see that it is not a hospital room. There is no curtain that's just going to be pulled. Many times when you go to the hospital, they're very good at trying to give you one of the private rooms. But I guess one of the moments where I realized that something had to be done was during COVID. And again, it was a very different time. But I sat in front of the nurse's station on a bed with a sexual assault victim until the nurse could get there. And It's not good. It's not
Yeah.
private, and they're not going to be willing to talk as much. And so we just want them to express that how private this is, how trauma informed it is. We're not going to be necessarily speeding through your exam. You know, if you need to take time, if you whatever you need
You're
to
not
do.
gonna feel
This is
rushed.
the victim runs this program here. When they step in the door, they tell us what they want and what they
What
need.
they need. I love that. Well, guys, again, if you have any questions, you can call them, like I said, at 473-6221, or call them here at the office at 473
6543.
6543. And if you ever need any help with any domestic, physical, sexual, verbal, mental, I mean,
Stalking, financial abuse. Yes.
you know, they cover all that and then some. And again, there's no such thing as a stupid question, as I say. So if you feel like, you know, there's somebody that's done you wrong, you can always call and ask them too, you know, because they're going to tell you where to go. But with that said, thank you guys for letting me come.
Thank you.
And with that said, guys, take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, Warren County, keep it for